see what it, but you can go down.
Down.
Okay.
All right. Yay! Hi! Thank you for your patience. Man, we're here. We're going to learn some good information. We're going to bring value to your business. So thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. My name is Taisha Velasquez. I am the Regional Account Manager for Home Partners. Who's actually heard of us before? All right, are we signed up? The few that have heard of us? Signed up? No. That's okay. I will tell you all about Home Partners today. We'll go over the criteria. I'm here to answer any questions, and I will show you how to get started and how you're adding this value to your business. All right, let's start with who we are. Home Partners is an investor, and what we've done is created a rental opportunity. We are allowing your qualified residents to get a chance to look at homes from the for sale market. We, as a cash buyer, will purchase that home, take it off the market on their behalf, and then allow them to rent it. If they get in the position to buy, they fall in love with the home, they can purchase the home back from us. Let that sink in a little bit. It is. It's another option to offer, right? We want to be a full service agent. That means that we need to offer as many options as possible to help more people get into good homes. Would you agree? This is another tool in your tool belt to do so. Okay? So not only are we a cash buyer, we close in 3 weeks, and we typically don't ask for an appraisal or repairs. Strong partnership to have, right? You go to a seller, you say, hey, I have this cash buyer that closes fast. You don't have to stress about repairs or an appraisal in the last week before closing, right? And because we are that cash buyer, you're going to represent us as the buyer's agent. So you know what that means? Thank you. Full sales commission. But remember, this is a rental opportunity. So you're helping a renter get into a rental home, but you're still receiving your full sales commission. So you definitely want to keep us at the top of your mind, because it's another way, again, to help more people get into good homes, but also build your business while you're doing so. Okay? So our mission is to provide more home ownership to more people through transparency, choice, flexibility, and control. Now, we bought our first house in 2012. November 2012. We have now purchased over 16,000 homes nationwide. It was initially Hyperion Homes. That's exactly right. Now we are Home Partners of America. So we purchased a lot of homes. But you know what? That also means we've helped a lot of families. We've helped over 60,000 people get into good homes that may not have been in the position to do so themselves. Speaks volume. Okay, we are in 40 plus markets, and we are moving into more markets every day. How do we get started? Some of you have done it already. You'll go to homepartners.com and sign up. It is absolutely free. I know in real estate, there's not a lot of free options. So this is an option that you can add to your business, and it's absolutely free. It takes less than 5 minutes, and once you register with us, you're a Home Partners agent. The next step is to invite your prospects. You're going to offer this option to your prospective residents. How do we do that? There's a tab on our website, on your agent portal, and it simply says, invite prospect to apply. You'll simply insert their email, customize a message, and the message can be, hey, this is the program we talked about. Please register. As soon as they register, they are connected to you. This is how Home Partners understands that we are purchasing a home on behalf of your customer. This is also how you're guaranteeing your full sales commission at closing. Would you agree that that's an important step? Yes. Yes, absolutely. So you'll have them register, and then they'll be prompted to apply. They do have to complete a full application. Once they submit that fully completed application, we will respond within 1 to 3 business days. So very quickly. Upon approval, we'll provide them with a rental amount that they are approved for. Remember, this is a rental opportunity. So now they have a rental amount. Well, next, you'll help them find a qualified home. Well, how do you do that? You can use our website as a tool. what we have done is we've actually pulled homes from MLS through data points that match our property criteria, where we're interested in. And then I'll also go over the property criteria that we have, okay? So those homes on our website are not our listings. We do not own these homes. We just wanted to help you with your search process.
So they can only buy a home from your site, not from our MLS?
No. You can purchase a home that is not on our website. We can purchase a home that's on MLS, or maybe it hasn't been listed yet. Maybe it's coming soon, or maybe it's a FSBO. We are still interested in those homes as long as they follow our criteria. It's just a tool. You can use the tool to help you find that home. Yes.
How quickly do you update your site with the new MLS?
About every 24 hours.
Okay.
Yes.
So most likely they're going to be, if they're on MLS and they fit your criteria,
they should be on the website. Absolutely. Now I will say this, it's about 95% accurate because it's coming from MLS. So if the home was not listed accurately, it may or may not go onto our site. So there's still opportunities of homes that could qualify that may not have filtered onto our site. Okay. All right. So you'll help them find a home. You'll go show them the home. They fall in love with it. Then the next step is to submit the property to us through that same agent portal. Okay. So you are simply going to select submit property, and it will walk you through a 3-step process. The first step, super easy. What address are you submitting? We should at least know that much, right? The second step, yes or no questions regarding the property. We're also asking for your expertise. What do you recommend the lowest offer versus the highest offer should be? Are there any other details that we should know about the property? This is a discussion that you would normally have with a buyer anyway, right? The next step is to provide supporting documents. So we're going to ask for the MLS listing sheet. We're going to ask for a CMA, a seller's disclosure, and photos. Once you provide all that information, you can submit it to us and we will respond within 4 to 6 hours, 7 days a week. Thank you. So very quickly. And then once we do respond and say, yeah, that's the home we would love to invest in. Let's go ahead and do that. That's when you put your buyer's agent hat on. That's when you become the liaison between the buyer and the seller. So that part of the transaction looks the same. You're still negotiating. We're still having those type of conversations. We're still going through a traditional transaction. Now the difference is we've done this before. We know how this looks. We know how to buy a house. So you don't have to hold our hand. You don't have to walk us through each step and try to explain everything. We've got it. And another thing is that we want to take some more work from you. We will actually generate the contract for you, submit it to your proof of funds. Exactly. We'll schedule inspections. You don't have to worry about that. And you are not required to appear or attend closing. You won't need to. We are the buyer. You're our buyer's agent. We will not be there, so you don't need to be there. You'll just be sitting there.
Is it a mail out?
I'm sorry?
Is it a mail out to Chicago, or you're physically going to have somebody here that closes?
No, we will not attend closing. We already have an arrangement with the title company, so we don't need to be there. Remember, we're the buyer.
I'm just worried for funding's sake if it's going to fund that day.
It will. It sure
So
will.
do you have your own title company that we have to use?
We have we actually just changed it. So I believe it's independent title, but I would have to get back to you on it. We were closing solely with Stewart Title. We no longer are. So let me get back to you on which company. But either way, you don't have to attend, so you don't have to go to their office.
You know, because usually the listing agent, the sellers choose the title company. So
The buyer usually does, but a seller may want to. If they do, just say this is just who we solely close with.
here the sellers do.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Just
So we'll solely close with this title company. I will have to get back to you on the actual title company. All right, so you'll help them, you'll invite them to the program, you'll help them find a home, you submit the property, and do we remember how fast we close?
3 weeks.
3 weeks. You close and get paid. Now, the right expectation to set for your prospect is that this process takes about 45 days from application to actual move-in. Why? Because we have our 3-week close, and then there's a make-ready period that may take up to 2 weeks. Okay. Remember, this is a rental. Most rentals have a make-ready period. The difference is we just are now owning this home. So we have to go through the home and make sure that the home is safe and ready for the residents to move in, and it may take up to 2 weeks. Does that make sense? Yes.
Do you have a required standard days of option?
We do. We have a 10-day option period. We have a 10-day option period.
So, okay, but with that, with the 2 weeks, there is not a chance that the renter that we connected you with will lose out on that house.
No, because we've already purchased the home. We're just getting the home
Okay.
ready for them to move in. So invite, find a home, submit the property, close and get paid. Can we do that? You think we can do that? How many people want to actually close 10 more transactions than they did last year?
Everybody.
They're all looking at it.
I'm thinking 20 more.
There you
30
go.
more.
This is an option to do that, and I just told you you're working with a well-versed cash buyer that takes some of the load from you. Less time, less work. Okay. I do have agents that are closing 10 plus transactions with us each year. Okay. I actually had an agent that closed 65 transactions with us in 1 year.
Whoa.
Didn't have to worry about the contract, right? Didn't have to worry about inspections and didn't attend closing. He could do everything else. Okay, so the opportunity is definitely there, but he prides himself on the fact that he was able to help 65 families get in homes that couldn't have done so themselves.
Do you have inventory already that you've pre-bought? that
Yes,
you
but that's
have
not
available?
for the lease purchase program.
Okay.
This program is just for us to purchase new.
Okay.
Well, if you're looking for a broker to list those homes, we're available.
Okay, good to know. But we do traditionally keep those homes. If someone were to walk away from our home, we keep them as rentals. So in regards to them walking away, you know what that means? Even though they selected a home, we as a cash buyer purchase that home and allow them to live in it. They're not obligated to buy the home back from us.
That's cool. Oh, that's good.
It's huge, right? So as an agent at that point, when they say, thank you, but no thank you, I really like this other community. What you did initially was open a bigger pool of houses for them to choose from. You told them that they are not, they don't have to rely on what's available solely on the rental market. Because now we're looking at homes for sale, which means more inventory to choose from, higher quality homes to choose from. That's what you offered. Now, the really great thing is if they absolutely fall in love with the home, they can actually purchase the home back from us at any time during residency. All they have to do is provide a 60-day notice. So if you're working with a prospective buyer, you sent them to the lender, and the lender said, you're almost there. You need about 4 or 5 more months. They don't have to go out and get a traditional 1-year lease. You can help them into home partners, and they can exercise their right to purchase within that time frame.
Is there a penalty or an extra cost if they do it like at any point during the lease?
No, not to purchase. Now, if they treat it as a traditional rental and they try to break the lease, that's different, right? But they are responsible for at least 1 year if they're treating it as a traditional rental. They have up to 3 years to live in the home. Now, your booklets may say 5 years, but Texas kind of operates itself just a little bit differently than everywhere else. And that's okay, because I'm sure you'd agree that 3 years is a sufficient amount of time to decide if you're going to buy a home that you're already living in. Yes, absolutely.
What if you hit year 4? What does that mean?
The right expectation to set for your prospects is that they would have to be ready to move out by the end of that 3rd year if they did not purchase the home. Now, on the other end, I've worked for Pathlight. That's our property management company, so I have some insight. If they're in good standing, they can call their resident support specialist, that's the person that's helped managing that home, and say, you know what, I didn't get in the position to buy, but I really want to stay. Pathlight will generate a brand new 1-year lease, but it will not have the right to purchase. It'll be a traditional lease. We cannot operate this program longer than 3 years. Okay. All right. Now, I can't say a blanket yes, right? Because I don't know what type of renter that will be. They might not be the best renter. I don't know. But if they're in good standing, that's an option.
What happens when they want to purchase the home?
I'm sorry?
What happens when they want to purchase the home? Would we represent them as the buyer?
What's your name?
Dan?
Dan? No double dipping, Dan.
Wrong.
Great question. Everybody was
See ya.
thinking it, no worries. But I will say this. Remember, they're not obligated to buy the home. So if they're in the position to buy, they say, you know what, Dan? Really don't like this community and really like this one. You can help them buy another home, and that's 2 full sales commissions in less than 3 years. So that's the closest. Any other questions on how it works? All right.
Just saying.
Hey, you had to ask, right? You had to ask.
I never ask questions.
So we're gonna go over the resident criteria and the property criteria. We do look at DTI, we do look at RTI, we're looking at FICO scores, housing history, etc. I do want you guys to write this down because it's not written down anywhere on your booklets. The DTI, which is debt to income ratio, is 45%. On this booklet here, that everyone should have, there's notes that you can take. So DTI is 45%. The RTI, which is rent to income, at RTI is 35%. 35%. Now, in regards to FICO, for lenders, what do they get excited about? What FICO score would they like to work with?
Over
850.
The 850. Yes, you are absolutely right. They'll be super excited about that. They want normally 700 and above. They'll work with us at 620 and above, right? Now, to help your customer get into a home from the for sale market through Home Partners, our FICO requirement is only 550.
Wait, what did you say?
550.
Wait,
For
what?
To
For the
get
renters.
into this to the home. Their FICO requirement is 550.
They'll pay all their bills.
He's like, do you know anybody that has a FICO? But look, how many more people can you help get into a home with a 550 credit score?
Probably not many that also have a 45% or 35%.
Yeah,
margin.
exactly.
Not necessarily. Life happens, right?
Divorce, Michelle,
Yeah, exactly. Divorce, medical
Michelle
bills.
just closed on 350,000. We got a divorce. He can buy 350,000.
Exactly. This is a good option, you guys.
So 550 is for to rent or to buy?
To rent,
Okay.
because they still have to get their FICO score up to qualify for a lender or a financial institution.
Right.
Yeah. But to help them into the home now, it's just a 580.
That's such incentive.
You would think. Alright, so the annual household income, which is combined income, is 45,000 and above. 45,000 and above. Now I want to be as transparent as our program is. We're seeing that our residents have a household income of 60,000 and above. Most of them are making 60,000 and above. I have plenty of agents that are helping households with their 45,000 and above. It just takes a little bit more work. Okay. They have to provide stable employment, just like they would with any other option, right? Your W-2s, your tax returns, your pay stubs. Now, what if they're relocated? They haven't started their job yet. They're like, oh, I have nothing for you. All right. An offer letter will suffice. An offer letter. If they're 1099 employees or they are self-employed, like you fabulous people, we are only requiring 2 months proof of income. What is the lender asking for?
Year.
2 years.
2 years tax returns, right? Help them get into the home now while they're either waiting or they're reporting accurately during that year. So I know we've had those clients or customers that may have written off a little too much, and they may have got qualified with a lender, right? But it's not the house that they want to get qualified for. It's not the amount that they want to get qualified for. Help them get into the home now All right. You do have to think of us as a property management company. You know, we're not excited about bankruptcies, we're not enthused about evictions. However, I was in property management for years and I know firsthand that Home Partners is less restricted. So for example, if they have had a bankruptcy, the Chapter 7, as long as it has been discharged, the day after discharge date, enroll them into our program. Does anyone know how long a lender usually waits?
4 years.
7 years.
2 to 3 years after discharge date. After discharge date. 7 years is usually the length of the full bankruptcy before it falls off. But after discharge date, 2 to 3 years. Okay? Day after with Home Partners. If it's a Chapter 13 and they're current, they're making their monthly payments, enroll them into the program.
So is this criteria the same, say they get into it and they're approved and everything's great and they're renting the home and then they decide that it's time for them to buy, is that the same?
No, they,
The lender.
yes. So that everything still looks the same. They still have to get qualified with a lender to purchase the home back from us. So hopefully they're working on everything while they're in the home that they already love, right? Good question. All right. Property criteria. It's a single family home or a fee simple townhome. I'm gonna test you here. Does anyone remember what fee simple means? No, okay, that's all right. It means that we own the land, yes.
Own the land.
We have control, okay? So we're not interested in condominiums. We are interested in duplexes now, as long as they're fee simple and they share a wall. So that's more opportunity. The home must be located in an approved community. So that means we are not purchasing everywhere. This isn't gonna help everybody, but it will help somebody, okay? Now, I gave you guys a cheat sheet. So it has, it has the areas that we're interested in purchasing in. But we also have different tools you can use on our website. Under our How It Works tab, there's a address checker and a rent estimator. You can put an address in and it'll tell you right away if it's in an approved community or not. And this home can be listed or not listed. You'll still be able to get that information. So please use those tools. The home must be listed between 100,000 and 350,000. My slide and your booklets both say 400,000. There's some asterisks right next to it. That just means that each market varies. Your market is 350,000. Still lots of opportunity here. Dan, you were saying you went on the website and you saw how many homes in that zip code?
40 something or whatever.
40,
Not
and
in
just
zip
one
code,
in
and
it.
just where it says spring.
Well, Spring actually has way
Yeah,
more
that's
than
what I'm
that.
saying. Spring in the search criteria, not the zip code.
Okay, in the search criteria to check. Okay, perfect. Because Spring has actually over 500 options that are coming in from MLS itself. And that's just the cap that we've given. So that means there's probably more opportunities. Okay. The home must have at least 2 bedrooms and sit on a lot less than 2 acres. Now I know this is Texas, but 2 acres is still a lot of land. We can work with 2 acres?
Yes.
Yes, okay. All right. Now we aren't interested in short sales or REOs or auctions. And please keep in mind, we are not in the fixer-upper business. So if you see a home that needs a lot of work, most likely that's not a home we're interested in. Now we have a full property criteria guide just for you. We explain exactly the type of homes that we're interested in purchasing and what we are not looking for in our homes. So please get familiar with that. That can be found under the How It Works tab. It says property criteria. Because one day you'll be able to look at a home and say, you know what, that is a Home Partners opportunity. Any questions about the resident criteria or property criteria?
Are you gonna get to, if, it used to be that if somebody saw a house and they wanted it, but they would like to have it recarpeted, that you would do that and then add up the rents. Do you still do that?
We don't add it to the rent, no.
Oh,
The rent
I mean-
does not change.
Okay, so like if I saw it and I I wanted to rent it from you because you could buy it.
Right.
then, But I'd really like to have new carpet. Would you do that?
Yeah, so we have a renovation checklist that is automatically submitted to your applicant when you're submitting the home to us. And it says, hey, these are the type of repairs home partners will take care of. These are the type of repairs home partners will not take care of. And you can make a request for appliances, carpet, and paint.
And that's built into the price when they buy it back.
It is added, so if they say yes to this, right, and we approve it, then that will be added to the purchase price. But they know that before they select it.
So whenever a house doesn't appraise because they build value in those things, do they pay the difference? That's
Correct.
signing off on that they're paying the difference.
Correct.
Doesn't appraise, okay.
You got it. Now, if it doesn't appraise and they say, I don't want to pay the difference, they're not obligated to buy the home back. And we have to remember that you are helping a renter to get into a rental home. Now, on the flip side, the home appraises at a higher value, then what does that mean?
They still buy it at the same price. I mean,
They
buy it
walk in with that.
with that, yeah. Because they're dealing with the lender.
Exactly.
Because-
Yes.
Yeah, not the doing, once they're a tenant, they're kind of out of it, and then you're dealing with a lender.
That's right.
Your own lender,
Yes.
whoever that is, to buy that house.
Correct.
Because you're gonna, and you haven't gotten into it yet, but every year you go up a percentage, right?
We do.
So how often do you do homes not appraise? Do you know?
I don't know that percentage,
What
because
I-
markets change so often, it could go up or down depending
What
on.
I
do it
would
on
think
market.
is that since you're a cash buyer, then you're gonna be able to cut a better deal for the house on the
Right.
initial buy than somebody that's coming in with 5% down. So even though you've raised the price when they go to buy it, it probably is a wash.
You know what? You have amazing negotiating skills, right? We do. We have amazing negotiating skills. That is exactly right. You could that would be beneficial for home partners and the prospect if you can bring it down. But we actually will offer fair market value. But if you think you can negotiate, by all means, because the purchase price will go down for the prospect as well. Okay. Yes.
Is your inspections through an independent inspector or your own people?
Amerispec. Amerispec is who we use.
So is that that's an
It's
outside?
it's a third party.
Okay.
It is a third party inspection company.
Okay.
Good question.
And what normally do you have as the set purchase price for the client? Is it like some percentage over what you purchased the home?
Yes, and that's what was mentioned. So when you are on our website, remember I said that there's rental amounts that you can see on our website? Well, not only do you see all 3 years of the rental amount, you also see the purchase price estimate provided. So please keep in mind, we are an investor, right? We're still, thank you. We're still taking into consideration of the cost of doing business, right? What did it cost us? What cost did we incur to purchase the home on behalf of your customer? When you purchase a home, does that include closing costs? Yes, when you purchase the home, you have to pay for closing costs. And sometimes if any inspection items that need to be addressed. So we take that full price, we say we want that back. As an investor, we want that back. And then we have an increase, what we call our right to purchase escalation rate is 4.5% each year.
Oh, that went up from here.
4.5%. No. That is for your rental amount. The rental amount increases 3.75% each year, but the purchase price will increase 4.5% each year
From what they purchased at?
from what we purchased.
I mean, yes. that's what-
Yes.
Are
But the
we-
great thing is, it's already listed on the website before you take your customer to look at the home. They already know what these numbers are.
If we're not writing the contract, who is negotiating repairs? Like, are you?
You're still our buyer's agent.
So
You're
we're
still
putting it
liaison.
on an amendment, we're sending it out, okay.
You're kind of like this, passing on the papers. Mhm.
So 3.75 for the rent increase, that's based off the sale, what you guys buy the house for each year?
The rental amount is an algorithm
Uh,
that we have, so we're assigning rents to these homes. It's basically gonna look like what you see on a CMA, location, bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, etc. We also factor in HOAs and taxes. So that is how that rental amount is created. And then from there is that 3.75%
So
increase
the
each year.
rent can go up 3.75 a year if you're still renting.
Yeah.
But
Correct.
if you wanna buy it, it's 4.5% on the purchase price of what
Yeah.
they paid for it.
Okay.
Correct.
But it will go up regardless.
Yes.
But then if you don't wanna buy the house,
Yeah.
you don't want a house.
And that's
but you
every
wanna move.
year, so
Yeah.
then like second year, you're at 9%.
Yeah.
So best to buy it after the first year.
Yeah, depending on the market, you guys, though,
Yeah.
right? The market may be 8 to 10%, and so they're in a good situation because it's locked in.
Yeah, let's get it, so that's locked in for.
Regardless of what the market is doing, that is locked in.
But the advantage is if they say, hey, that's too much to pay for this house, they buy another.
Mhm.
They're not locked in, locked in for a year, or rent goes up, that amount, and you go, hey, this rent went up and I can get a house across the street for less, and move.
But they've known the numbers
But they
from
know
day
the
one.
numbers.
Uh-huh.
They've known the rental
But
amount.
they fall in love with the home.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the
Right.
plan. How you fall in love. Ultimately, you want them to buy it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, if they, I'm gonna do a sales pitch for you. If they rented only and they didn't have the option to buy, all that rental money would be gone anyway, right? It would cost them and then they have to move and find a house
Which is
and
another cost.
do all that and hassle, so I think it's a good program.
So
It is.
awesome program. And it's also rent certainty. I was in property management. You don't know what that raise would be or the increase would be until 60 to 90 days of your expiration date. They know exactly what it is. Exactly. All right. Any other questions about the resident criteria or property criteria?
I have a question just on like the buying, so when you submit a contract and let's say, the seller comes back and says, no, we don't like this. So do we just email you guys back the contract and then tell
You
us?
say, hey, this is the counter, right? And then we respond.
And so is the renter at the time, are they out any money, any option fee money,
No,
anything like that?
no, they don't. So there is a deposit. There's a deposit and there's an application fee. When they apply, the application fee is $99 per household.
Okay.
So we know that normally it's per person for anyone over the age of 18 per property. So for example, owner takes 5 applications, they do not choose your applicant, what happens?
We'll lose the money.
You lose the money and they have to do it all over again, right? With home partners, if something doesn't work out, the seller says, oh, no, I don't want to accept the offer. Then we can actually have them roll that over to another qualified home and they do not have to reapply. So the application is great. The next fee is the deposit. The deposit is equivalent to 2 months rent, but it's completely refundable. Completely refundable. So if at the end of the year lease, they say, great, this is awesome, but I really want to be in that community. They put in their 60-day notice. The home is in the condition that they received it in or better. They receive their full deposit back. We're not interested in nickel and diming. We have a property management to take care of wear and tear repairs. So they receive that full deposit back. Now, if they exercise their right to purchase, that deposit can be applied to their closing costs.
Nice.
So it's like in an escrow or a savings account they can't touch until it's time to buy.
Any problem with pets at all?
We do allow pets. We have a few restrictions. However, if you're familiar with property management, you know that they normally have a breed restriction list that's 12 to 17 breeds long, right? With home partners, we've got it down to 4. Okay, that's Mastiffs, Dobermans, Pit Bulls, and Rottweilers. We allow up to 3 pets, gross weight 180 pounds. Gross just means collective together. Gross weight. Okay, 180 pounds. That's a lot. Or just a really large 180-pound dog, which is a lot as well. Mini horse. So those are the pet requirements or criteria. Okay.
So when the person wants to buy the house, you've already got a pre-established price.
Correct.
So when they buy it, that's just a contractual obligation, contract, between you and the person purchasing it?
It's an agreement between the person, our resident, and us. Yes.
So nobody represents them at all? I mean, I know you said we don't, but They don't have any representation?
No,
On
they
the
will
purchase of the home?
correct. They will contact our company and say, hey, I really want to buy this home. We will reach out to them. It's our purchase department and we will walk them through each step. But hopefully you have referred them to an amazing lender and the lender is also helping them through each step.
You really want to get paid when they buy it, don't you?
No, I want them to be
Come on,
properly
Dan.
represented.
Everything has been done up front.
Well, Dan, part of it is that they know what the condition of the property is,
Right.
so that they don't have any problems with inspections and all that, because they know
Right.
exactly what's wrong with that, what's
Right.
wrong with the house.
But still, they're buying a house.
Everything has been done up front.
Damn.
They've already agreed to everything. There's nothing to
No,
negotiate.
not the negotiation, just
we're not
from a
putting it
legal
back on.
standpoint. People are contractually buying a property. They should at least have an attorney look at it.
Absolutely, they can. We're not saying that they cannot. They absolutely can. All right. So with all
Still
this
want to hear
information, what do you say? What do you
Still
say?
wants to be
Oh.
Twice.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Right,
everyone
we
at
already
home watching
paid.
this, Dan's just doing a favor.
Agreed, agreed.
The normal Dan, sorry.
You can just close 10 minutes.
I want you to know, Dan.
And you could get paid for the lease when you renew it too.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, $sign Dan.
All
I
right.
don't have as long a time to catch up.
Right, you don't have too many more years.
Yeah.
It's fine if you get paid for the sale up front.
Thank you.
Always spread out.
All right. So with all the information, the resident criteria, who we are, what we do, how we do it, with all that information, who do you feel that this program would work best for?
People that moved here and they haven't sold their house back in wherever it is, and they can't get a loan because of the fact that they
Can't sell their
don't
home.
have the cash out for the loan yet, and they wanna buy here.
Perfect.
And
Absolutely.
people who aren't sure of the area that they want to live
This is the best try before you buy option.
in.
They don't know where the best communities are, the best school districts. Help them get into the home because they say, you know what, I'm gonna rent for a year. And first, you're excited, you're like, okay, let's go look at homes for sale, and then they drop that bomb on you. Normally you have to bow out as a buyer's agent and say, okay, when you're ready, contact me. Now you can change the narrative and say, okay, great, I can still help you. I can get you into a great rental in a great community. Any other suggestions on who this would be great for?
I could see it like a young couple, and they have good credit, they don't have the down payment, and the wife's gonna go back into her job next year. But this year, she doesn't, she's taking kids or something, so they can qualify for the loan, for the rental, but they can't qualify yet for a loan to purchase because she's not working, or she hasn't been on her job long enough. That would be somebody.
Someone who hasn't been on the job long enough, that's another one, that's a second, right?
Recently divorced people who are not sure.
Or
they wanna
going
buy,
through
or
a
where they wanna
divorce,
be, or yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because it's an active divorce. If they get another
They can't
home,
buy. That's
They-
true.
it's connected to the other spouse. So this is a way for them to still get into the same community or near the community, the same school district, help them into the home now. And if they absolutely love our home, they can buy it back from us when the divorce is finalized. Or, as Dan probably would love, they come back to you and say, hey Dan, can you help me? And what happened? You've got 2 full sales commissions in less than 2 years.
I
There you go.
All right.
Hands over there.
You guys mentioned most of them. So first time home buyers, newer families, right? They get excited. They're like, oh, but I don't know if this is an opportunity for me. But they're like, you know what, let's go ahead and do it. I didn't know I was supposed to save that much for a down payment. What are these closing costs? Oh, no, thank you. We bow out, right? Change the narrative. That's okay. I work with a cash buyer. They'll purchase that home for you. You can rent it while you're working on those things. Okay. Relocation, we mentioned that. And then your prospective buyers that went to the lender, and there's a short sale on their record, or a foreclosure, or that bankruptcy, or their medical bills have affected their DTI or student loan debt. So sorry you couldn't go through this way, but I have another option for you. Change the narrative. Isn't that a much better conversation to have than call me when you're ready? This, Chad Dixon is the real estate agent that closed 65 transactions with us in 1 year. And altogether, he's closed 123 deals and is closing this year. That's fun.
Do you know how did he market it, like, I can help you with the lease purchase, or do you know?
Good
I
question.
think that's what he did.
So what he did was he took listings that he had and listings he had permission to use. He would pre-qualify them, see if these were the homes that we'd be interested in, use the rental amount that we've assigned to the home, and market it as, this could be a possible lease. Call me for more detail. Or, yes.
Genius.
And he would call agents that maybe you guys don't know about home partners. He sees that your home qualifies. He says, hey, I'm working with a cash buyer that closes in 3 weeks. They don't ask for repairs or an appraisal, and they're going to offer you full market value, fair market value. I would love to help market your listing. Well, as a listing agent, what's your job? Get the house sold. Get the house sold. So I'm saying to you, I have more exposure on your house getting sold. So as soon as I find someone as the agent, I receive my full sales commission because I brought you the cash buyer, right? But what else am I doing when I'm marketing that listing? That's not even mine. I'm generating additional rental leads that could be great opportunities for home partners. And so that's what he does. So he literally blocks out hours in the morning and he will market his own listing and start calling so that he can market their listing. Every day. Every day. And he'll market on Facebook, Craigslist, Instagram, Google, wherever he can. Now you know how to close 65. I only asked for 10. All right. So once you're on the find a home section, we talked about those homes coming in. You'll select the home and it will give you the property information. You'll have 3 years. So when you guys log on, you'll just see 3 years. And it will have the rental amount increase and the purchase price increase. All here before you take your customers out to see the home. That's how transparent we are. Okay? Now, please encourage them to put the rental amount that they're approved for in the max. So they don't get excited about a home they can't qualify for. If they put it in the minimum, they're gonna see all these other opportunities, but we've given them their max approval amount. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, of course, they can look through the estimated purchase price, bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage. But we also have an advanced search. In the advanced search, we purchase homes with pools. Yay! Texas, we love our pools, right? We do not purchase pools everywhere, so yay, Texas. All right, so definitely use that advanced search as well. Okay, do we remember the process? Let's see if you guys were listening from beginning to end. How would you help someone through this program?
Sign up on the website.
Sign up at homepartners.com. What's the next step?
Get your client to sign up.
Invite them to the program, yes, and they are registering. What's the next step? Wait for them to qualify, right? How fast do we respond to the application?
1 to 3 days.
1 to 3 business days. We provide you with the rental amount. What's next? They have the rental amount.
Find the property?
Find a home. Find a home. Absolutely. Once they say, great, this is a home we love, what do we do next?
Start the.
Make an offer?
Submit the property to us so that we can make an offer. Okay, so submit the property. We respond within
4 to 6 hours.
4 to 6 hours, 7 days a week. We go through the transaction and we close in
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
I think
You
the
get
thing
paid.
too, though, you're gonna have to
45
educate the
days
listing
total.
agent
For the
about who
beginning.
they are. you're gonna have to educate the listing agent about who they are.
Or you
If
can
they don't
send them
know,
away.
yeah, send them away. Because if they haven't heard of the program, they're like, what, you go to cash buyer, blah, 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 who are they, I've never heard of them. Because, but most people have, but not everybody.
I actually had an agent that I spoke with a few hours ago. She was saying that the transaction was super smooth, but initially she was like, I don't know who these people are, what's going on? But she loves it, and she wants to continue to market her listings as possible leases.
So what do we do about verification of funds for cash buy?
We provide that to you.
So you provided.
We provide you with proof of funds and a fancy little cover letter.
We like
Awesome, let's work. All right, I think they understand the process. Invite, find a home, submit the property for us to review, take the offer to the seller. We'll go through inspections. Now, the last thing before we close, we do ask you to take photos. Remember, we're an out-of-town buyer. We need to see that they did not trash the home beforehand and that the seller is actually gone so we can come in and start our make-ready process. Okay? And then you close, you get paid your full sales commission. And the resident moves in 2 weeks.
Nice.
Sign up, sign up, sign up. Do we have any other questions? How many are you closing this year with us?
10. I'm gonna have to.
You gotta hold them accountable, so we're about to hear these numbers, okay? How many are we gonna close this year?
I'm gonna
20.
say 20.
Let's do
I know
it.
I do.
10. Ma'am, how many are you gonna close?
10.
10.
Every chance I get.
There you go. Hold that 65. 15. Write this down and put this up. This is your cheat sheet. Put it on there as a goal. How many do you think?
10.
10.
I'll do 5.
5. 10. Okay, remember everything they said.
Okay, how long do they have they have to live in it? You said it didn't matter before they buy it.
Correct.
How many?
They just have to provide a 60-day notice.
60 days, because it's possible that they're looking at homes that are really popular and they can't buy a house because, let's see, when you go down as low as 150, right?
Yeah, the
Okay.
price cap is
So
$200,000.
it's a $150,000 house and your buyer keeps missing them because they're not cash buyers and they're competing with investors, and then all of a sudden they're buying it, so they got a stronger buyer, and then your client leases it for
60 days.
60
days.
days. They can literally walk the threshold on move-in day, put in their 60-day notice.
because people are losing houses because they're competing with cash buyers.
Even if they bid
Yeah.
over
Yes,
asking.
they are, because they.
I had a friend have that same issue. They were bidding, and then someone came in like with $50,000 over asking. She's like, "Well, I'm not doing that," you know. But if you have a cash buyer that's willing to compete with everyone else, then they can get into the home now and buy it back from us.
And then the 2 months rent or whatever that they
The
live
deposit.
the deposit. Now that could be paid toward their closing cost, or it is definitely paid for.
It's up to them. Yeah, it's up to them.
But they're gonna get
So,
the money.
yes,
And then if they choose not to buy the house, they still get it back if they haven't like completely demolished.
correct.
that
So
would be another
win-win-win
15.
for all parties involved.
I know, it sounds too good to be true.
Well, the only thing is, they have a
Yeah, I
built-in
wanted to ask that.
return,
Right.
right?
So that's,
some
then
people
they're
might
looking for
say-
something.
yeah,
There you
some people
go.
might say, but you can't steal a house and then also lease it, and then also not have to buy it, and then not also buy it cheaper than they bought it for. You know, you can't have it all ways.
Yeah.
You know,
Still an investor.
Yeah.
Not a charity.
it's gotta be a win-win, right? It's gotta be win.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, makes sense.
So what about pet deposits?
There's a pet deposit. It's $300 per pet. But the great thing is, if they exercise the right to purchase, it goes right back to them.
Well,
Yeah, because we're not going back in the house. They,
standard.
if they damage the house, then it's up to them. Exactly.
They have that for the 1 year lease is up and they choose not to purchase, they move out of the house, it's still in good condition, is it refundable?
They receive their full deposit, traditional deposit, but not pet
It's
deposit.
non-refundable.
Then it's a non-refundable pet. It's a pet fee at that point.
When they say buy.
So you had people who are leasing and, they come back
Sorry.
and, are dissatisfied and sue and because Texas gave a lot of power to leaseors in these lease purchase programs. Just wondering, how you structured it to, avoid litigation or.
How have we
Is it-
structured for litigate? Well, we do have in-house counsel if we need it. Hopefully we don't need it. We've taken care of the home. We've done everything legally. So everything should be on the up and up.
Yeah, because they, like 2005 was familiar with investing in lease purchase.
Oh,
And legislation came in and said, no, the people leasing are entitled to not only the additional amount they paid, but also all of their rent.
right. You're absolutely correct. And Texas has taken its own stand on it. This is not a lease to own. This is not a rent to own. This is a rental opportunity that just so happens to have the right to purchase. So it's just like a regular rental unless they choose to exercise that right.
On lease purchase, you have to purchase it or
Right,
you're
you're
gonna lose
obligated.
your earnest money. They don't have to purchase this. So
Uh,
they call it lease purchase.
An attorney up
But
front
I
initially
think
draws
it's more
up the
like
lease.
yeah, that's,
a lease with the right to purchase if you want to.
So in Texas, because there's that, you have to be with an attorney if you're going through a lease,
Right.
lease with the lease to own or rent to own. Everywhere else, it's easier to say lease purchase because it's allowed.
Yeah.
So here, I would recommend just saying leased with the right to purchase so that people can differentiate that.
Well, lease purchases are allowed, it's just real estate agents aren't
Aren't.
allowed to write lease purchases. So they're allowed, but this is
Attorney.
different.
Through an
than-
attorney, it has to be
Yeah.
with an attorney.
A true lease purchase, they would put earnest money down when they moved into the lease, and they're not doing that, they're putting 2 months deposit. So it's a different.
yeah.
Is your property
For small
management,
investors, it went away.
Right.
is the property management independent property managers here, or is it your own?
It's our own property
Your own
management
people?
company. They're called Pathlight. Like walking on a path towards light.
Oh,
And
yeah.
about how many properties, do you have any idea you guys have in the greater Houston area?
I don't have the exact number. I believe we have around 600 homes here. And we're going to be purchasing a lot more. I'll say this, nationwide, we are purchasing $2.3 billion worth of properties this year.
Geez, who's your investor?
We have a few, but one is BlackRock, which if you guys are aware, they're like the #1 investment company in all of the US.
So is this an REIT? Is
No.
Home Partners an REIT?
No,
It's just equity money?
yes, it's a privately owned company that is funded by these bigger investors. Yeah, you can have billions of dollars to play with, right? We do. Yes.
Property management company, so like if something breaks in the home, do they still have a service charge that works just like?
Not a
the rest?
service charge, they'll if it's not their fault, right? If it's like a HVAC that went out, they can call Pathlight and say, hey, my HVAC went out, then we'll have a contractor go out and repair
Is
it.
that like any money or deposits or anything that they put, like if the AC goes out and it's like how does that work with them?
That amount that we talked about, closing costs, inspection items that need to be addressed, we also have a what is the great analogy for it? A copay, it's kind of like a copay. So they can actually, there's a cap of $2,500. So the roof, something happens with the roof and the repair is $7,000. There's a cap of up to $2,500 where the resident is actually responsible for, and we take care of the rest.
And then when they
So that's
purchase the
added to the purchase price.
Oh, it's added, okay.
It's added to the purchase price, but it's already factored into that amount that we've stated on the website. So if they don't use that, then their purchase price will go down.
Okay.
So, but if they don't purchase,
Then it doesn't affect them at all.
okay, because they're renting, so
Yeah.
they don't.
It doesn't affect the rent. It's just out of, so we take on all the risk. We take on all the risk. All right, well, we excited?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Are we ready? Thank you so much for staying with me.
Thank you. You're worth the wait.
Thank you. So sign up if you haven't today so that you can start making calls to renters that you may have pushed away. Or people that aren't qualified to buy, give them a call.
Thank you.
All right,
Do
thank
you have a
you.
business card?
I don't, but I can give it to you guys if you guys want to write it down. My phone number is 214-885-6959. And my first name is Taisha. That's Tyei, S as in Sam, HA. And here's the kicker. It's a long last name, Velasquez. V as in Victor, EL, 8 S as in Sam, QUEZ.
Okay. And what's your email?
T Velasquez